Hey everyone, Archanias MC here, and today we are going to be talking about some bees. I'm going to place a link below that's going to show the website that I use to figure out the recipes, or rather the genetic tree for a particular bee. But today what we're going to do is we're going to make an esoteric bee. I'm working towards getting a Fluix bee, and this is a massive tree. So I decided I was going to start off with one that I don't have and just show you the process that I use for creating bees. So what we're looking at here on the screen is the species that I have for the various bees that I've collected so far. So for the esoteric bee, and you can look at the link below and see where I'm at with this, but we need a cultivated and an eldritch bee. So I have a species, it's cultivated, so I want to pull that down, and Eldrick is right there. So these two bees combined will give us a chance at the esoteric bee. We're going to remove chance from this equation. So here's my genetics lab, and let's see, I need to get a pristine princess to start off with. I have tons of bees, but I actually need to get rid of some of these drones. I'm working on that right now, but let's go princess, and you see I have a bunch of pristine rocky princesses. So I need one of these. I don't think, let me see if I have cultivated drones, because that would take a, yeah, okay, so I have a cultivated drone. I don't need to make a cultivated bee, just the Eldritch. Alright, let me go put that back. Cultivated, right there. Okay, so in my lab I have a mutagen producer, and I always keep a stack of redstone blocks in there that produces the mutagen. The mutagen producer is going to feed the mutagen directly into the advanced mutatron. Now, you can go with a regular mutatron, but the advanced mutatron, if there's going to be multiple possibilities for a generation, the next generation, it'll let you choose the one. The mutatron, I think it just is going to like spit one out. But at any rate, I have the mutagens feeding into here. This is where we'll put the two bees. And then with some labware, it'll show you down here, you choose the one, and then it'll produce it. Let's see, genetic sampler. Well, let's go to the genetic imprinter. This is the one that I'm going to create turn the Rocky Princess into the Eldritch Princess. So I'll put the species in here, put the princess in here, and it's going to use up a labware, and it'll make it. You're going to go through a bunch of labware. It's 4 glass panes and a diamond to make 16. It's kind of expensive if you don't have a lot of diamond resources, and you go through a ton of them. So be aware of that before you start doing this. Okay, so here we have the Eldritch Princess. Alright, let's pull this out because I don't need it anymore, and I'll put this one back. I'll explain this one in just a second, but let's go ahead and get this queen made. So what we're doing is we're going to make the esoteric queen. So we'll put the Eldritch Princess here. We'll put the cultivated drone here, and see, it gives us the option, 2 options, right? The advanced mutatron lets you choose. We want the esoteric, so I click the esoteric. It consumes the drone and the princess, and we get an esoteric queen. Now let's see what this esoteric queen has on her. So we'll pull out the Beealyzer, we'll open it up, toss her in it. Okay, so short lifespan, slow production, slow pollination. She needs flowers, fertility of 3. That's not bad, I prefer a 4. No effect, and let's see what kind of climate she needs. Tolerance. Okay. Alright, so I could probably just throw her in there and everything would be fine. However, I don't like to do that because I've actually died from doing that with some of the other ones. So I want to control what I'm putting on her. As I've been collecting drones, and I will always, once I get close to a stack of drones, I will always throw them in and try to extract the species. That way I always will have a species of the generation that I'm working with. That's why I have the chest down there full of them. You also get some other traits. And you can add these traits to a genetic template. So right here you can see it ignores day or night. It'll flower from rocks. That means it can run. You don't need flowers around. Cave dwelling is true. It doesn't need to see the sky. It has no effect. So if it's going to have like lightning or some other bad effect, you can get near it. It's a short lifespan because I want it to go through quickly and create new drones. Large territory, fertility of 4. So every time it does die, it will produce 4 drones, which gives me a stack quicker. Flowers fast, and it will fly in the rain. So I'm going to go ahead and place the queen in here, and I'm going to give her those effects. And hopefully she doesn't die. I've been really lucky so far, and that I've not lost a bee yet doing this. But there is a possibility of doing it, and in this case it's not too bad. It kind of sucks if you're on like a first generation queen. Alright, so she's good. And we can take a look now and see that we've changed most of that. So rocks, slowest production, shortest lifespan, fertility of 4, large territory, and day or night is good, tolerant fire, yes, cave dwelling, yes. So most of it's pretty good. So then I come out here, and this is strictly the apiaries that I have for breeding. It looks like it was set up for hell last time because I have a hell emulation upgrade. I don't remember what I was doing. Let's see if she'll do it. Yeah, she will. Alright, so now in this case what we want to do is we do not put an automation upgrade in for the first run. What I want to do is I want to stop it, and I want to grab the princess and the drone of this esoteric bee, and then I'm going to run them through and give them the genetic traits that I just gave the queen. And that will, I don't know if that's absolutely necessary. It's what I've been doing because it'll, I've not done it before. I've gone over there and looked, and suddenly I don't have the esoteric queen anymore. It's some other breed. So it kind of helps me purify the genetics. While we're waiting on this, let's run downstairs, and you'll have to excuse the condition of the shop. I ran out of channels and had to redo my all my stuff. So just pardon the condition of it. It's a work in progress. Here's all my production drones, or all my production apiaries. So these are automatic. This is a radioactive queen. It's producing fuel for my reactors, and we get stacks. Anything more than this stack goes into the system. These bees I'm comfortable just leaving here and letting them crank through. So we have radioactive. I have 3 of them. Withering because I'm getting ready to set up a wither farm. Emerald because we're always out of emeralds. Diamandis because we go through tons of... Look, here's one working. Yeah. So that one, drone went over here. This one bred. And then I have it in the system. And what it does is anything that it's produced will come out and go into the system. These are quantum. Quantum bees are really good. You can get, let's see, you can get nether quartz, you can get Certus dust, and you can get ender dust from this one bee. So, you know, if you need ender pearls, you can get them from this bee. Plenty of nether quartz and Certus. I just said that, I'm repeating myself. And then glowering that produces glowstone. So this is just stuff that we go through a lot of. Um, Anyway, I'm going to cut it here. Let me teleport back to the lab. I want to cut it here for a little bit until that bee finishes its cycle, and then we'll pop back in here shortly, and I'll show you what the next step is, and then there will be a third step after that to show you how to extract the genetics. So until then, I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, so we are back. Oh, there's a skeleton out there. Let's do him real quick. Okay, sorry about that. We're back, and you can see this thing is processed through and it did not recycle. So we should have the esoteric bees in our system if everything works out properly. So let's go over here and take a look. And this is the next step. This is a fairly short step. Then there'll be one step after this. So let's look up esoteric. There we go. So we have an esoteric princess, and we're going to grab one of the esoteric drones. Let's get the beealyzer, and then we're going to process them through. So this is the same genetic template that we've used. I only have 9 of 13. At any one time, this should be, I think, 12 of 13 because you don't want the species there. There's just a couple of traits that I haven't collected yet, so until I do, we're just using an incomplete set. Having it full is important if you're going to be creating the bees out of just the protein and DNA, but I'm not at that point yet, so this works just fine. Basically what I'm doing is I'm making sure that both the princess and the drone have the same genetic template before they breed, and that should allow them to not create something weird, which has happened before. It's tough to trace down when that happens too. Turns out I was throwing away all my bees, and so it was getting like a different drone rather than the one that I wanted. Okay, so here's these two. Let's take a look at what they look like in the... And you don't have to do this every time. I just am doing it to show you guys. So these should have the same exact genetic template. So shortest, slowest, fastest, rocks, 4, large, none. Take the drone, put it there. There you go. Now at this point, I feel safe for putting this thing on repeat. So we want to take a automation upgrade, and we're going to throw it into the industrial apiary. And what this will do is this will, before the system sucks anything out, anything over here gets sucked out. Before it pulls anything out of the system, it will throw the princess and drones over here. And then whatever's left will get pulled out. So that's how you can pull out your combs and any of the byproducts that they produce, and you can feed it into your system. So for here, it's really just a matter of waiting. We'll check back in about an hour or so, and this should be, there should be a stack there. If not, if there's 20 or so, it's okay to start. Because at this point, we're just trying to get the species trait. Once we get the species trait, we can move on to the next breeding, or the next generation. What am I trying to say? Next breed. So after this, I will breed the esoteric with a mysterious drone, and that'll give us an arcane, and then so on and so forth. Always grab your species. By doing this, as you start looking into what next bee you want to do, you'll find that, oh, I don't have to start at the beginning again. I'm only like 2 steps away from the end result, because you have the species trait, and you can do that. You can also, if you really want to get into it, you can be doing multiples at a time. Just be careful. The thing that you always want to get is the species. So I'm going to cut this for now. We'll check back in about an hour once I get about a stack there, or however many's there after an hour, and I'll show you what the next step is. So until then, take care. Okay, so it's been about an hour, and it looks like we have, let's see, I think it was close to half a stack when I checked. Yeah, a little more than half a stack. Okay, so 39. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go and hopefully this 39 will be enough to extract the species trait from this particular breed. So to do that, we're going to take it and put it in the genetic sampler. So what this genetic sampler is going to do is it's going to take a genetic trait and it's going to put it onto a blank gene sample using a piece of labware, throw it into here, and then that will drop into this chest. And so it'll give us we'll be able to see what's going on. So let's just go ahead and start doing that. And see, it's cranking through. And it should create one and throw it into the chest. Oh, right here. So humidity tolerance, none. Okay. We're looking for species. Okay, so it did it again. Same one. So basically you just do this, wait for these to show up until species happens. When the species happens, we will put it onto the genetic template and then save it. And that'll be the only trait on that template. It goes into the box down at the end. So flowering fastest. It's hit or miss. I've had it do this in like the first two. And I've also had it where it's taken a long time to get there. So when you get to this point, you know, this is really what we're trying to get to for this bee. I never move on to the next bee until I get the genetic sample. It's kind of silly too. There's been a couple times like, wait, I need to go back and get a bee. And if I didn't have the genetic trait or the sample, the gene for the species, it would be a matter of breeding up to that point again, which is not what I want to do. In this case, I was able to start about 4 or 5 branches deep into the Fluix tree. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 deep into the Fluix tree. And it would have just been a nightmare to have to do all that over again. So it's worth sitting here doing this, letting it crank through until you get the species trait. And you guys are just going to wait for me to talk until we get it done. Because so far, we don't have it. It's random, so it could happen anytime, but at this point, it's just not happening yet. So this is really the last step. I'll show you how to, once we get this, show you how to make it. And if there's any questions, like if there's an aspect of this that I wasn't clear on or that I glossed over, please let me know down in the comments, because doing these, doing bees has really done quite a bit for keeping us up to the point where it's like it really takes you to the next stage of the game. Okay, let's take a break for a second from this. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I have withering bees. Okay, these withering bees put together a wither skeleton bone chip. I have 3 of them going, so I had this down to 4 chips a couple of hours ago. So by doing this, go here, take all these, the larger chips in that pattern, and you got wither skulls. So just in the last couple hours, I got 2 wither skulls. I have a total of 90 wither skulls now. Let's take a look at the diamonds, what the Diamandi bees do. 187. 187 chips, that's 7 diamonds. And that's just in a couple hours. Let's see, I have the ender dust bees. These come from the quantum bees, so I don't have quite as many of these, but you know, hey, that's an ender pearl. Blaze powder. I'm not even making blaze powder because I had too many of them. We get the blaze powder, we get the glowstone. See, I've got all these glowing bee drones because I was having trouble with the species on that. Let's see if we got this. Tolerance, fertility, true, fertility for slowest. Well, no, it's not happening just yet. How many bees do I have left? 11. Well, all right, so hopefully it'll happen in those 36. If not, then I'll just try again. But basically, yeah, the bees are incredible at what they will give you. Like, I think having a good set of bees is probably better to help target like weak spots in your inventory than like a laser drill with a filter. Let's see. I'm getting uranium. Where did my uranium go? I'll have to look into that. Maybe my reactors used it. Rocks. Esoteric. Okay, we got it. So I'll put that here. Let's pull these out so I don't use up any more labware. Not that it matters. Labware is pretty expensive. But we do get the diamonds. Okay, so we're going to go genetic. Oh, you know what? That's probably... Right, what's going on here? Genetic. There we go. This is the one we're looking for. So each one of these takes a diamond. 4 glowstone, 10. Fairly simple. Am I really out of 10? Oh, because I did that. No, I'm not out of 10. I'm just out of 10 bars. Let's see. There we go. Let's try this one more time. Genetic. There it is. All right. So to put this species trait on the genetic sample is super easy. You just put it in here like this. Esoteric. Okay. And that's where I mean, that's pretty much it. Let's see, where does it go? E, F, G, wait, SO, E's. Goes right there. Yes, I do alphabetize them, and every time I get one towards the beginning, I have to shuffle everything down because, yeah, I guess it's not like I don't think I can do it this way. But anyway, there's that. Now the last thing that you want to do is take these, fill your inventory up with them. These are recyclable. So it's real simple to do. Go to, let's see, go down to the shop. Head over here to the alloy smelter and yeah, and then it just does this, and then these throw it back into my system, and then I just throw a stack in there. I have a little over a stack of these, but it's not, you know, and let's see there, they're cranking out. Okay. Those you reuse. I wish you could reuse labware. Oh God, I wish you could reuse labware, but oh, that was the wrong one. But you can't. So if I go to right here, take these, throw them in there. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much all there is to doing the bees. It's that wash, rinse, repeat. Like I said, I can't stress enough, don't move forward until you've captured the genetic sample. Okay? I mean the species trait. That's the one that you need more than anything. Any one of these beads in any other formula I go to, I can put one of these on a just whatever, a pristine princess, and I have a pristine princess of that species. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much what there is to the bees. Like I said, I am not getting into creating the bees from scratch. I've built the DNA extractor. I've not built the protein extractor. Um, and I think there's one other one. I don't remember what it's called, just because I haven't set up the farm to get the protein. If you have this in a full template, you can just create a queen. Just bam, there's the queen with all the traits on it you want. It leaves out a few steps. It might be a little bit easier, but like I said, that's down the road. You have to have the species first to do that. So anyway, yeah, that's it. If there's any questions, please let me know down below. If you like this, hit like. You can follow me on Twitter at ArchaniasisMC. I have a Twitch channel with the same name, ArchaniasisMC, and I have a Discord, which, if you want to jump in and ask me a question, look down below and the link will be there. So until next time, everybody, take care.